Okay, all right, let's get into the conversation this afternoon. We're starting with trending videos online. Last week, a food truck belonging supposedly to BUA Cement was intercepted in Katsina and Kaduna states, in different scenarios, and miscreants. I don't know why I'm using the word miscreants. Let me just say residents of both states, sort of intercepted these trucks. And
beautiful.
Hungry Nigeria.
Beautiful.
We don't need to manage anything.
Madam P.
They are not miscreants. They are not.
Thank God you are waiting for yourself.
Please
These are people that are hungry. These are people that are. I mean, I think.
Let me finish my statement.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Have the floor.
Ha! Men. All right. So, as I was saying, residents of both states intercepted food trucks and began to, cut away, the food stuff. Well, it happened again yesterday, Monday. This time it happened in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, all right, in a town called Dede. I think that's what it's called in Abuja. Residents also attacked and looted a food truck that was carrying food items, and passing through this area. Now, to this effect, the organized private sector, OPS, has expressed concern to the government about the spate of looting of trucks conveying food by what they call hoodlums. Like I said, I'm trying to micromanage the language used here, but then they are calling on the federal government to actually begin some sort of intervention before all of this gets out of hand. All right, so to kickstart the show, let's go see some of the videos showing how these trucks were looted. All right. Okay, so there's still more videos, or I can go online and check them. I mean, the one that happened in Suleja, I think that's Niger State, all right. The food truck was actually in traffic, and these people just began to loot right there and there, leaving the driver helpless. Meanwhile, yesterday, the federal government said they will start the distribution of grains to states this week. Also, the federal government has come out to describe the act of looting of foodstuffs by some Nigerians as criminal, and they have asked Nigerians to actually desist from that. All right, gentlemen, here we are in the face of the current economic hardship. All right, on the one hand, it's an issue of lack of purchasing power, okay, on the part of the citizens, and then on the other hand is this issue of them beginning to take laws into their hands, which we have seen in the video. You know, one of them is, you know, beginning to loot. I don't know if that's even the right word to use in this context, but it is what it is, to loot, you know, any food truck that they see going by. Vis-a-vis the reaction of the federal government to all of this, what is your opinion about this? Do you think the government is right to criminalize this? And do you think what the citizens are doing is the appropriate thing to be doing, you know, in spite of what we're going through?
Thank you, Patience. First and foremost, let me say that I don't support any form of criminality, and I won't support it. And any act of self-help is condemned in the Nigerian Constitution and in the law, in the natural law, in the natural law of justice. It's not allowed. However, the new groundswell of looting or attacking food or attacking governments and warehouses where food are stored, we should first and foremost look at the causes of all of these new trends. And first, are we like this? Is this our culture? Of course it's not. Now, you can go back to the pandemic year, 2020, where government, private sectors contributed food, give it to the government for distribution, and the government store it in their warehouses. Some of them get bad. They didn't distribute it until the citizens begin to locate some of these warehouses and attack it. Was anybody ever arrested and prosecuted? You know you cannot. Because in the first place, you have already committed a crime by hoarding those foods that were meant for citizens. Now, fast forward to 2024, the scenario is different. It is not hoarding of food. It is hunger in the land. The policies orchestrated by government has necessitated the unprecedented hunger situation we have ever had in this country. This morning, patience, it will interest you to know that there is a group my wife belongs to for meat, people that sell meat and buy.
Meat sharing.
Meat sharing. So, as at last week, we bought a kilo of meat for 3,500. As at this week, it is announced on that group that it's 5,000. Right? Now, you can ask me, does dollar or fuel subsidy affect cow meat? No, but these cattle feed, and most of the feeds are not made from this country, are imported. So as long as there is
even for cows?
Yes, and poultry.
Oh, okay. I know about poultry.
Yeah, of course. What is the difference?
I thought cows just.
What is the difference? No, because you have to give them feed that make them grow well for you to sell. They don't just, feed on grasses and the rest of it.
Alone, okay.
Now, you spoke about purchasing power here. There has been constant loss of job every day in this country. As the day breaks, some people lose their job. As the day breaks, every day, there is constant loss of job every day in this country. And again, you see that a pint of beans now is now, I'm sorry, I'm talking about all of this because I'm affected. I'm a sole provider to my family, and I know what comes out of my pocket every day. It's now 5,500. This morning somebody said is 6,000. A pint of gari, white gari, is 2,800. Red gari.
That's right.
Am I right?
You're right.
Red gari is 3,500. Now look at all of this. These are the things that common people, poor people, quote and unquote, that used to feed on without the rich knowing that they are suffering. Now these things are out of reach for them. So what I'm saying here is that in as much as we can sit down on this table and condemn the act of these people, all right, and don't also forget the truck that was looted is owned by a private company who has staff to pay. All right. So, but people who are hungry didn't see that, because when you are hungry, like they used to say, a hungry man is an angry man. A hungry man does not know that God exists. A hungry man does not obey the law of the states. Hungry man does not understand that what this is bad and this is good. What the hungry man wants is to feed his belly, and the moment he feeds
so
his
going
belly,
by what you have just said, should we all just
no, this is
not looting because you know
all of us cannot. In as much as all of us cannot be armed robber, some people get into armed robbery for action. You cannot. All right, but the government have not denied the fact that there is action. They know. The president has also reiterated this many times, that he understands that some policies of the government at this time has created action people should endure. And person can only endure when there is hope. I can't go to bed hungry and not knowing what I'm going to eat the next day, and you ask me to endure. I may obviously walk around my neighbor's house and saw a pot of soup that's on fire and I'll pick it. Whether I'm beaten to death or not, that is not my concern at that time. But what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, governments are not doing anything in the immediate. Now, since the grain has been talking about, they are still talking about distributing grains to the states. You can't distribute this thing to the state because the first one Mr. President distributed, people didn't see it. We have 774 local government in this country. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't we talk about it? Because the more you say they are going to distribute this to the state, the more the poor people think that they will not get to them. So the one that is closer to them, the low-hanging fruit, they can now go to those ones that are NEMA warehouses and the rest, and the drop food on the road.
Okay, just hold it there, Chief of Force. We'll come back and talk about the interventions of the government not getting to where it should get to. But then, Mazi, let me hear your own contribution to this issue of looting of food trucks.
Yeah, thank you once again. In the church service, when the pastor is summarizing his sermon, he said, "He who has ears should hear." And we said the grace. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have said anything outside what Chief has said. He started by condemning the action of looting, and I join my voice in condemning it. Just coming from another program, and this topic was treated, I came out clearly to condemn it. But like he said, a hungry man is an angry man. It's a national embarrassment to this country, to the government. It goes a long way to show that the government has failed in providing food to the citizens. Having said that, if you don't want, I think there was something was tried to, but he didn't get it to what I wanted. You see, when you don't want your child to eat from another woman's pocket, provide food for him. When you don't want your children to steal because of hunger, provide food for them. And these people have looked all around. There's no way food is coming. The worst promised by either the federal or state government is not coming. And they now decided, they saw a trailer carry food items which they need. They go after it, which I also condemn. You see, hunger does not know whether you are rich, whether you are poor. It's just like a common denominator. It's just like death. Death can come to anybody. But then, having said that, my dear, you see a situation where we have found ourselves. Anarchy is looming. Anarchy can come in any form, and that is part of it. You see, and it's also a revolution which can come at any time.
I strike out that word revolution.
No. Allow me finish now. There are ways people could express their opinion.
I understand
right?
you.
Now, anger is one of them. Mm-hmm. This attacking the trucks is one of them, and the vegetation is there. You see, when people are pushed to the wall, they can go to extreme, and that is what he said. And for the president to now come out to say the federal government to criminalize it, well, they are right. But then, if you look at the scriptures, the lepers were hungry, and they said, if we remain here, we will die. If we go forward, we will die. Why not we go forward? We might decide, we may succeed to it. And Jesus Christ, when he was going with the disciples along the road, the disciples were hungry, and they asked them to go into the farm and pluck corns. You see, people are hungry. People want to eat something. Our farmers are not going back to the farm. Somebody asked me a question. I said, how do you think this food scarcity and hunger could be solved? Let us go back to the farm. If we go back to the farm, there will be food on the table. In fact, I'm even soliciting for you and the chief to help me assist my widows so that they can go back to the farm. So the issue of looting, which is wrong, I condemn it completely. But then there's nothing. When if somebody is pushed to the wall, he'll be forced to react. That is what is happening. So to me, the federal government should find a way. He talked about the distribution of grain. The grain, they said, they promised since February last year, March last year, up to now, I haven't seen it. We talked about during the NSAS. You see what happened? So many warehouses were vandalized. Warehouses were forced open, and they saw. I remember a senator from one of the states in the southwest whose warehouse was vandalized, and those palliatives meant for the masses were looted, and he said he kept them for his own bad day. So it's unfortunate, like Chief said, this grain, when they are eventually released, really get the masses. So that's the point.
That's a big question. Okay, so what happened during the NSAS in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Is a different scenario from what we have today. Chief Ofose mentioned earlier, the trucks they are looting don't even belong to the government. It's somebody's business.
Fine.
Okay,
Madam P.
It's criminal.
Madam P.
You're taking somebody out of business because you're hungry.
Fine.
So you go.
I don't know whether the other station and whether exchange your scripts. The same question they asked me. Hunger does not know who owns it. Whether it's federal government or private sector, they don't know it. What they want is that they've seen a truck or trucks with food. Whether it is owned by Madam P or owned by Chief, they are not interested. It's like what has been written has been written. Let us go after it and feed ourselves. So it's unfortunate because, like you said, these truck owners will pay taxes. They will have employees they will settle. So there are other very expensive. It's a shortage. It's a loss to them. But it is caused by the failure of a system.
Okay. I don't want us to overflow this issue, but then we have to talk about this issue of, the intervention, getting to, the people it's meant for, which is key in all of this. Okay, so if people are guaranteed that whatever it is the government is going to supply will actually get to them, come to their full step, I think tempers will simmer down a bit. So it is this issue of, the government, pushing grains out there, but then does it get to the people? And I mean the people who are hungry. What do you think the government should be doing? Because so far, all of the methodology they've followed through has not worked. We have a positive result in terms of people actually testifying that they got palliatives and all that. What more do you think the government should be doing? Very quickly.
You see, Patience, I keep asking myself, there is no single person in the position of leadership in this country and the level of government that has not traveled out of this country. There is no one of them that has not been to US, UK, Europe, any part of Europe. And they have seen that in these places, they have seen that how when government want to support the people, that the people do not come out and say, I didn't get what the government said they want to give. They always give it to them. This morning somebody told me that a lady went to the UK and eventually got married and the husband kicked her out and the government took her in, give her a house and keep paying her a stipend and her son. And I'm asking, how did that work? All these people, Mr. President practically live in the UK. How did they get it done? We don't have a social register in this country, a functional one. What we have is a political register. When the government want to do registration of citizens, they go to their party people. That is the only way we can get all of this things sorted out. Anything that we are going to do and give it to a governor, the governor will give it to his loyalists. Why don't we create a functional social register of Nigerians? Every day, this morning, a bank has called me that I need to come and do NIM. What is concerning NIM with my bank? It's for phone. I have done BVN, I have done NIM, I have international passport, I have driver's license, my name is still not on the social register. No, tell me, how are we going to sort it? So what we have in this country is a political register, it's not a social register for Nigerians. So as long as that is deficient, we cannot get food distribution, aid distribution accurately, evenly distributed. It's not going to work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what I say now. We need to go further. He has said it all. My brother's wife, the mother is citizen of America. She just came back about other 4 years ago and she died. And she said why the burial has not been fixed, that she have to notify American government because they were still paying her something. They don't want to do that. And how do they? Every month, if it's the ones for weekly, they will go to the doorstep and drop everything there, right, with tax and everything. And because I was here during the pandemic, during the COVID-19, and I did complain what I was seeing in my area, where the one, when it came to other local government, distributed it among the party agents, and the party agents have their register, like he said, and begin to call names. Then the ones given to the landlord association to be distributed among their tenants, they distributed among the landlords alone. There was a time I stood at a place. I was watching them going to market somewhere, I don't want to mention the area, and they were calling names, and you see them driving in with Okada, carrying bags of rice and things like that. Party patronage. So the issue is this, like you talked about social register. What about a woman, the minister of whatever, that was giving money for these vulnerable people? And they found 500 and something million in private account. So corruption, until we get it right. Until we get it right. And we have to, how do we get it? By electing people of integrity. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Everybody is rejoicing. The man has only spent 9 months. But see some light. But for the past 24 years, Abia has been in darkness. When the right people are enthroned.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you so much. All right, so on this issue of food looting or looting of food trucks, the organized private sector, OPS, has come out to actually warn the government that if something isn't done quickly, there might be a shutdown of factories because these miscreants are attacking trucks and they are looting foodstuffs, raw materials, what have you, anything they can leave.
I hope by the time the food trucks and the warehouses of food are dried up, I hope they will begin to scale the high fences in Abuja and Lagos. And I hope they will begin to sniff where the sweet smell of food is coming from.
No, it has started in my village.
I hope they will not begin to attack the eateries and restaurants.
Yes.
And I hope, because at that time, how many people can government actually arrested at the time? Do we have a correctional center or police station that can accommodate everybody? So it is a stitch to save 9 tears. A stitch. So why don't we do what is good and stop digitizing? Mr. President is taking too much time. There is need for urgency. There is need, not just talking to people, because there are some people you talk to at the end of the day, if they still go home and their stomach is biting them, they will still go back to what they were doing. There is need for the real action to be taken. And I know it is not going to be easy. But at least let us start from the local government level. All these governors, giving governors palliative, giving this. You have completely made our local government system redundant. These are the government that is closer to the people. There are some people in my village that have never been to Yo. They don't even know where the government house in Yo. They don't know. They don't know their commissioner, but they know their councillor. They know their local government commissioner. So why is this federal government consistently? They know this thing is not working. Why are they consistently doing what is not working? Giving things to the governors. Why?
But in addition to that, since this new dispensation, have you seen the governor complaining of hunger in the state? Have you seen? Have you heard? Because they are getting home with at the last time they shared about 1 trillion naira. So more money.
Please don't use the word Akpabio said.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.